Sometimes the question is asked, how can I develop the strength to face everything? Now, when we feel in a situation where we feel weak, we feel that in order to overcome this weakness, we kind of in our minds project the exact opposite. But it seems to it's a kind of like an absolute. I want to be able to face everything. What is actually necessary is, it's sort of in one sense a wrong question, because what really I need to do is I need to learn to face the little things on a daily basis. I need to develop being able to face doing the dishes, getting along with other people, working well at my job in terms of my occupation. So the whole point is that sometimes we aim too high. We have an absolute imagining ourselves as strong and able to face everything. Well, the thing is that we can learn to face things better and better on a daily basis. So when we look at our life and we look at how to improve our life, it's not really a question of reaching an absolute kind of ideal. What it is that imagine your life is a little bit like an hourglass, and you have to face one grain at a time. And so you've got one moment at a time. So luckily life comes to us at one moment at a time. So what we're going to concentrate on is facing not our life or becoming super strong. What we're going to concentrate on is facing this moment, seeing clearly what is there, and then responding in the best possible way, irrespective of how we feel. Now, when we give up alcohol, we can feel weak and vulnerable. That's understandable, okay? And we feel like we're lacking strength. Now, the question is, of course, how do we build strength? Well, you build strength through practice, you see. So it's much better to look at life, okay, so I've got the task of learning how to live properly. Okay, so I might have crazy emotions coming back and forth, which can happen when you give up alcohol, because alcohol is a defense against feeling bad. So when you and it's a solution to feeling bad. So when you stop drinking, feeling bad can become normal. So, and when those feelings are there, we don't want to follow the feelings. We want to get on task. And what we mean by that is we want to face life and respond to it in the best possible way. Now, it's through this process we become stronger. We become stronger or more willing to face life. But we only have to face life one moment at a time. And we only have one task really to do. It is not to overcome negative emotions, because irrespective of my negative emotions, life is on. It's happening in front of me. So each moment that presents, I have to, first of all, be aware clearly of what is happening. And then secondly, I have to be able to respond to what is happening in the best possible way. And this is my practice. I'm actually practicing my daily life. I'm practicing living in the right way. And the more I do this on a moment-by-moment basis, the easier it will get. But it's extremely important to have the right orientation to life in order to change it. If we think life is all about feeling good about myself, this is going to be a problem. Now, it's understandable we want to feel good about ourselves. And if we feel weak, we want to become stronger. But it's much better to look at, well, what does life require? What does this activity of living requires? It requires two things. First of all, that I face what is happening and see what is actually happening. This is the first step. So if this one moment in front of you demands that you do the dishes, you can say, okay, what's happening in front of me? The dishes are not done and they need to be done. And then you engage in actions to do what's needed. Or when you're in an interpersonal situation, you may feel awkward. Doesn't matter. The same rule applies. what you're looking at is seeing what's actually in front of you, what the situation actually needs. Maybe you need to listen, learn to shut up more. Even if you're a little bit nervous, you can always contribute something. Even the act of listening, that's a safe thing, but that brings value to interpersonal relationships. So when we're looking at developing strength, we don't want to get into fantastic or funny notions about ourselves as being nice and strong and fearless. What we want to do is we want to, each moment as it presents, what we want to do is be able to see what's happening, because that's facing the situation, and then responding to it in the best and most helpful way. With that orientation and with that practice, we get better and better at living. And as we get better and better at living, we, in one sense, feel more strength, if you like. We don't feel weak and helpless. Now, the cost of feeling weak and helpless often means that we don't do what we need to do because we have the idea about ourselves, oh my God, I just can't do this, I'm too weak. No, you're not. This cost us because instead of seeing what needs to be done and responding in the best possible way, we withdraw from life because we don't feel strong. Well, the thing is, we may not feel strong, but we can act in a strong way. Not with pretending that we're a wonderful, strong person. Because if we don't do this, our life will never come back into our own hands. And when we're on the road to sobriety, when we're on the road to learning to live a life without dependence on alcohol, this is what we need. We need to learn to live life in the right possible way. I hope you found that helpful.